I don't know how much you know that how much is Ananda is expanding in India, how much work is going on. Last weekend we had a Kriya initiation here, and beautiful, wonderful Kriya initiation. And before that weekend, last Sunday, we had a Kriya initiation in Chennai. And before that Sunday, there was a Kriya initiation in Bangalore. But I don't know if you know this or not. That means if we have lots of Kriya initiation happening, it means we are working hard, we are doing a lot. So I was in Chennai last weekend because I was helping there. I was the one to start the work there. And I wanted to see the students that they receive the Kriya. So I wanted to see them, just meet them. I wanted to be there. And I saw Haridas and Roma were there also. And so when I arrived there, they asked me, can you do some kirtan with Haridas? I said, sure, I'll do it. So we sat for the kirtan. Haridas did for half an hour. I did a half an hour. Fine, everything went well. We came back here. When I came back, I said, Haridas is here. So what is happening? So, and then again I received a message from Diana, can you do kirtan with Haridas? I said, okay. And again we sat, Haridas said, I'll pass you harmony, we do another half an hour. I said, fine. We said, he did half an hour, we did half an hour. And then I said, afterward I said to Haridas, Haridas, this seems to me like deja vu. Like, we were in Chennai, now in Gurgaon, what is happening here? So, and then before that weekend they had this Kriya initiation in Bangalore, they were telling. And the next month there's an initiation in Kolkata there. So who knows that, how many things are going on, how much we are aware of all these things. I remember that when I was in Bangalore for some time, I was preparing for Swamiji's talk in Chennai actually. I was working on advertising and everything. So, and I did not know anything what to do. Such a big program, we had taken a big hall. I did not know what to do anything there. I was new for advertising and all these things. So I said, I should look what other people are doing, maybe I should go to. So the nearest was Bangalore, and they were doing the program in December, and mine was, and Chennai was in January. So I went to Bangalore in November. I said, let me see what they are doing. I knew some things, okay, advertise in the newspaper, do this, do that, little bit I know, but I want to see in action what people are doing. So I reached Bangalore, so they printed flyers, lots of flyers. And I reached there, stayed at the center, Bangalore center, and so I asked Ananda, so I'm here to help, tell me what to do. He said, fine, we are going to this evening to Sai Baba temple, give the flyers. You want to come? I said, fine, let's go. So we all, four of us, Haridas, Roma, I, and the lady Kamini, we all went to Haridas, this Sai Baba temple. Around 6:30, 7 o'clock in the evening. We reached there, and first of all, there were very few people. We said, what's going on? All of us, we saw there were tons of people. And all of those office goers, we could see because their tags were there on the chest. We could see all of the office goers there, and they are coming out, and then we started getting like this. Started happening. And I was standing with Roma. And then Haridas was standing with Kamini. We were in two groups. So one on each gate to capture everybody. So, and then when we gave the flyers, everything ran out, and then Roma says to me, very beautiful statement. She said, that's why I love India. That people in India, after the office, they go to temple. In America, nobody goes to temple. They all go to pubs and the bars. She said, that's why I love India. Isn't it so interesting thing? But I said to her, Roma, no, that's not 100% true. I mean, ignorance is 50-50 everywhere, that Master said. So in some people in America, they might be going to church also, who knows that? But maybe the majority is here, that people out of devotion, out of the love, they go to temple. And there was a simple definition. There is a poem of Master of my India when he says that where Ganges floods and Himalayan caves and men dream God, I'm hallowed, my body touched their sword. I mean, Master said that he loved India, and Swamiji often says that the rishis have lived there for thousands of years. And but I told Roma that no, it's 50-50. Good people are everywhere, bad people are everywhere too. And I was thinking about it, and then I thought, what's good and bad? And how did Master define about good and bad? He said a very simple statement. Anything which brings you close to God is good. Anything which takes you away from God is bad, is evil. That's what it is, how we define the good and the evil. It's a very simple thing, Master said that. Another second Master said that he is the wisest who seeks God. Isn't so? Who seeks the God alone. And so what we are seeking here, are we seeking God? There was another statement that Master gave. I like it very much. He says that he is the happiest who gives everything to God. Who gives everything to God. Now there's a lot of that we think in this statement. We think it's a very simple statement, yes, you give everything to God, that's it. But think about it. How many of us think that, what can I give to God? Most people think, God, they pray when they need something. God, I need this guidance today. I need this. Give me a job today. Give me a better job, better finances. But how many people think, God, what can I do for you today? God, what can I give you today? How many of us think? Think of it. Anyway, most of us are spiritual, but this is a little bit more higher teachings. This is a little bit more higher understanding. That thinking of God, what can I do for you? What can I give it to you today? Rather than asking God, what can you give me today? What can I take from you today? So this is the topic today I wanted to share with you this morning. That and I wanted to share you with a story that which is a story by Ananda. And the story is of a sadhu. This is an ancient story. The sadhu lived on the mountain, and he did the tapasya for many years. He was away from the town. He did not mingle with anybody. But for years and decades, he lived on the mountain alone. Just did all the sadhanas, all the tapasyas he did. And then one day he felt the inspiration that he needs to make a temple for God, and in the town. So he comes down from the temple, from his place on the mountain, and there was a king in the town. So he said, well, I'll go to the king. I don't have anything, but what can I do? I could go to the king and ask him to help me. So he went to the palace of the king, and then he inquired that he wanted to meet the king. And the guard at the gate says, no, the king is not here. He just left to the temple. Go to the temple if you want to meet the king there. Fine. The sadhu left for the temple, and then he went to the temple. He found the king was sitting in front of the idol and was praying. And sadhu wanted to know what he is praying. So he went to the king and sat next to him. And he heard the king was whispering, God, I want the kingdom. I want the more kingdom. I want to expand my area. Please help me. Please give me. And then sadhu, when he heard that, you know what did he say? I thought you were a king. You are a beggar. And then he stood up and he started walking. And the king says, what happened? He says that I thought you had the whole kingdom. You don't need anything else. You are the king here, but I think you are the beggar. You are asking from God. I think I should not ask you. I'm going back to my beloved. I should not ask you. And then sadhu left. So this is the story which tells that most people think that people who are very powerful are, let's say, Bollywood actors. What happens when their new movies release? What they do? Anybody knows? They go to temple, pray to God. May my movie be successful. And we think that Bollywood actors are so strong, they are powerful, and but we don't know. They go to the temple, they pray to the God. So the point here is that we think that people who are powerful, they are strong, they have everything, but no. And they pray to the God only when they need things from Him. The true understanding is that we should understand the first thing is that everything comes from God. And until unless you realize that you're working from the ego, we think that when things doesn't work for me, I lost God. But when you understand that reality that God is giving everything to us, then that's a true spirituality. That's a true thing that we want to practice. And this can be understood by another story I want to tell you, that which Master told. That he told the story of Akbar, and Akbar was very, very compassionate, very giving king. So one day, but he used to go out in his kingdom, and he used to see that what people are doing, what they are needing. So one day he was going out on the roof with his soldiers all around. So he saw two beggars, both of them blind. And one of the beggars was asking like this, to whom king gives, he alone becomes rich. To whom the king gives, he alone becomes rich. And the second blind beggar, he was praying like that, he was shouting like this. To whom God gives, he alone becomes rich. Now what happened that when the king heard, he said, this is interesting. So he thought about, okay, he's praising for me, the first beggar, but I should help him as I'm going to the second one. So next day he comes and he ordered that a big loaf is being prepared and some gold is hidden under it, in the middle of it and baked, so that nobody can see that what is inside. So that bread was baked, and king went to the beggar and he gave it to the beggar. So and he left. King left. And now the next day when king comes again, few days later on, king comes back. He saw that there was only one beggar left, and the second beggar was gone. The first beggar was still there, was praising that to whom king gives, he alone becomes rich. And the second beggar who was praying that to whom God gives alone becomes rich, he was gone. So now king was puzzled that I gave the gold to this person and the bread. What happened? He's still here. He should have bought some things and should have been doing some business or something. So king went to him, this beggar, the first beggar, and he asked that, what happened? I gave you the bread yesterday. What did you do with that? He says that, oh, when you gave me the bread, I felt it was very heavy. I thought it was not well baked. So I sold that bake to the next beggar for 10 cents. And when the next beggar, he took it to his house, he gave it to his wife, and the wife opened it. She was not blind, fortunately. She opened it, and she saw the gold, and she found a house, she bought a business and everything. Wow, what do you understand from this story? That even though king wanted to help, but what happened? They say that man proposes, God disposes. That first beggar, even king was wanting to help them, and he could not be helped. Master was telling this story to illustrate that in 1930s in America, there was this depression, there was recession in America, and what happened at that time, that even the richest country in the world, America, they suffered. People did not have food. People think that money comes from bank, money comes from the job, money comes from the security, money comes from the different things. But if God does not base, you cannot do anything. So that's what we think, that the model of the story is that everything comes from the God, that we should all be thinking that everything comes from the God. Now let's go back to this statement which Master said that he said that he is the happiest who gives everything to God. We can also think of different ways that it's not just about the money. It's everything, all the inspirations comes from the God. There was a scientist, agriculturist, his name was George Washington Carver, I think, and he was the one who, there was a time in America, I think in South America, Central America, they had this huge harvest of peanuts and they did not know what to do with it. Farmers were dying. So this scientist was very spiritual. He went to his lab. He said, I want to help these farmers because they cannot do anything with all this, and they have to sit for the next few months and they cannot grow anything. So he went to his lab. He spent there 6 days, 6 nights, experimenting with the peanuts. And he comes out of the 6 days, 6 nights, and he says, his assistant was sitting outside, he says, we did it. Now the scientist says that we did it. He says, what do you mean by we did it? You were alone in the lab. What do you mean? He says, God and I, we did it together. We found, and he invented 200 things you can do from the peanuts. Peanut butter. He made the paint, the polymers he made from the peanut. The 200 things he made that can be made from the peanuts, which was rotting in the godowns of those peanut farmers. And the farmer, they did all these things, they become good, they become happy. We think of the spiritual things that bhav, when we say that bhav, when we are in the bhav, we are receiving the blessings from the God. But this is not true. When Swami Ananda met Anandamayi Ma, and Swamiji was deep in meditation, and Anandamayi Ma said to him that, Tumhara bhav khub sundar. In Bengali she said that, meaning that your spiritual attitude is most beautiful. What she meant that he was not receiving blessings from the God. He was giving his love to God. He was offering his love to God. So what do we mean by all these things from scientists, from spiritual things, that it's not that we are receiving all the time from the God. We are working with God, we are giving back to Him. If you go back to that statement of Master, which he said that he is the happiest who gives everything to God. We can if you be a little bit rational, we can divide into three statements. We can think of this way. He is the happy who gives a little bit to God. He is the happier who gives a little bit more to God. And he is the happiest who gives everything to God. We can think of this way also, isn't it so? So think of what kind of person you are. Are you giving a little bit to God? Are you giving more to God? Are you giving everything to God? In Christianity, there is a tradition of when we become rich, when we receive a lot of material richness. It's not popular in India, but in the West it's very popular. They give 10% of their income to some charity as a symbol that that if God is giving, we are returning at least something in the back. And that's one kind of thing people do. In Autobiography of Yogi, if you read story of Bhaduri Mahashaya, he was from a very, very, very rich family. And when his disciple said, Master, you left everything, and for God, he says that, and you are the renunciate. He says, no, I am not the renunciate, you are the renunciate. Because for the small penny things, you left the kingdom of God, and I am going for the kingdom of God. I am not the renunciate. People in this world, they are the renunciate. That's how he was saying to his disciples. So, let's think about that, this teaching of the Master, that are we happy? And how much we are happy? And if we are not happy, are we giving to God? Are we asking to God? Which direction we are going? So let's meditate on this line the next coming days, next coming weeks, and think about, do a little bit of introspection and see where we are going, which direction we are going. We think that we are practicing a lot of spiritual things, but sometimes it may not be true that we are going in the right direction. We might have to check ourselves which direction we are going. So let's meditate on this line of Master, if you are going in the right direction or not. And so with this thought, I'll finish this morning Satsang.